Hi everyone, I'm Carl, the violinist tutor, and for today's lesson, we'll be playing and learning a song called Gypsy Firelight, and we'll also learn the scales for the violin. Let's start with the Gypsy Firelight. This piece is known for its fury, passion, and intensity. I'll demonstrate both a slow and fast version to give you a feel for the piece's emotional depth and technical demands. So this is the slow and fast version, and this one is the crazy fast version. And you can see that this entire piece is pretty much a package of all the stuff I have shown in my other lessons. And what I mean by that are the open strings, first finger notes, second finger notes, third, fourth, and all the other notes. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to my other lessons where I explain the open strings, all the finger notes, and all the other notes before you move on to this lesson, so you have a better understanding. Now that we got that out of the way, I'll show the slow version first and then the fast version of this piece. And let's get to it. Let's move on to scales. Scales are the building blocks of music, providing the foundation for technique, tone, and musicality. Mastering scales is crucial for any violinist as it helps develop finger strength, intonation, and confidence. For the scales, I have D major, A major, G major, C major, and F major. And these are all of the scales. So we have D major, and these are all the notes and all of the numbers. And if we recap like one of the previous lessons, the numbering here are your fingerings. So we have D right here, and we have 0, which shows that this D note is an open string. Then we have E and a number 1, which shows that this is a first finger note. And then we have an F sharp, and this is a second finger. And we also have this S here, and I'll explain that later. Then we have G, and this is a third finger note. Then we have A, which is a open string, B, a first finger note, C sharp, second finger, and there's another S there, and D, a third finger note. And after you play that last note, you go back down to the first note. And this is how scales work. You go from the first note and all the way up to the top note. If it's on the violin, this is the top note. And then from that top note, you go back all the way to the bottom note. And that's pretty much how it works with all the other scales. For the S and the B, S means stretch and B means back. And I'm going to show what that means. So this is where you put so this is your first finger, and this is your third finger. And your second finger, like where you put your second finger may vary. With stretch, what you want to do is you jam your second finger to your third finger, and that's how you stretch the note, your second finger note. But if you want to put it back, you want to jam your second finger to your first. So if it's stretch, it's connected to your third finger. If it's back, it's connected to your first. I'm going to start with D major. So that's D major. And I have one other thing to show you, and this is what students or beginners usually get wrong. So here it is. When you play your top note, don't play that one twice. Because here in my scales and pretty much in all of the other scaling, like they usually don't tell you to play the top note twice. And if it doesn't tell you to play that last note twice, only do it once. So I'm going to show that again. That's one time, and after that one time, you just go down. Whenever you do your scales, you want to make sure your fingers is exactly where it needs to be. And scales are here not because I'm telling you to do it. Rather, scales are here because they're a very, very good way to discipline your violin scales. Like, let's say you don't have any guide on your fingerboard, like some sort of sticker or a dot. Like, how would you know where to put your first finger or your other finger? You know, especially if you play a very fast piece and at a light of speed. And I would know that because I've been playing the violin for a very long time. And I know that scales are important because, as I said earlier, scales are the foundation of music. And they're the ones, scales are used as a guide. And that's why scales are not just a random thing to learn. It's the most important thing when you try to learn a song. Like the core foundation when you learn a song. A major. One time, then down. G major. Then stretch. Time. C major. One time, then go down. Back. Some things I didn't mention on the scales is when you play the scales, you want to make sure you pay attention on the S and the B's. And if you don't pay attention to those, you're basically going to play a bunch of random notes. So you want to make sure you follow those letters. And the other thing I also want to mention is this first finger with the B. And I'm going to show that. So this is your first finger. And for your B or back note, you want to make sure you slide that first finger up, like close to this notch, and this is what we call a nut. And what you need to do is you don't really have to touch the nut. Rather, you just want to feel that, or let's just say you want to put your first finger close to the nut, but you're not necessarily touching it. So this is where you put your first finger if it's a B. And when you see a first finger with a B, this is where you put your first finger. So I'm going to play the F major with that B first note. So that is it. Today, we've explored the Gypsy Firelight, which contained pretty much everything that I have shown and explained in my previous lesson. And we also worked on the scales that will help you build a strong foundation as a violinist. Practice these scales regularly and don't be afraid to experiment with different tempos and dynamics. See you all on the next lesson.